So finally a chance to have a go in an Alpine GT. I've been waiting a couple of years to drive one of these. So what are the basics? 1.8 4-cylinder 16-valve turbocharged engine, 7-speed dual clutch transmission, 300 horsepower, 0 to 62 miles per hour in 4.2 seconds. Now I'm going out in the GT, which is sort of the mid-level model. There's a base model and that's 49,000 pounds. This is 59,000 pounds. This is a more sort of softer suspension, and then there's a more hardcore S version, which is about 69 grand. I'll just do a quick look around the car and then we'll take it for a drive, because that's the most important thing. It's such an evocative and iconic shape. You know, I've always liked the look of these things, and I've always wanted to try them. They're a nice compact shape, not too big, not too small. It's sort of the car that you think, that might be ideal sort of companion for UK roads. Is it practical at all? I don't know. I mean, it's got kind of a boot here, under here, so it's a pretty small boot. You know, I mean, it's usable. You could put a squashy bag in there, so that's okay. But let's find out what the inside is like. Here we are at last. It's been a while. I've been waiting for this to have a go in this car, and I'm finally in it. So there you go. Wow, I like the color blue. Look at this interior, blue with brown seats, perfect for the brown car guy, I'll tell you that much. There's a little cavity behind where you can put stuff. There's a box, a little compartment. I think it is a compartment. It's oh, look, quite cool, that classic sort of compartment there with a titch button. There doesn't appear to be a glove box, but you know, a little bin down there, and the storage area under here, which has also got the USBs. Then you've got these buttons here and a start-stop button. Look at these toggle switches, they're fantastic. Look at this brown leather steering wheel. This is awesome. Actually, this is really cool. All right, let's put this away and let's take this for a drive. I tell you what, this is far more interesting. So does this only come in, I guess this only comes in an automatic, isn't it? How do we start this? So we start, stop, big red button. Whoa, there we go. And I guess we just go into drive 1. Here we go. Yeah, and we're all off. So here we go. We're taking this out at last after all this time. And we'll find out what the Alpine is really like. So I'm only going to go straight out onto the hill circuit and go around there and see what it's like. So if any of you wondering, I've done a bunch of reviews. I've been out at the SMMT Test Day, which is an opportunity that's created by the motor industry to enable manufacturers to bring their collection of cars to one venue, which is Millbrook Proving Ground, which has a variety of test tracks and facilities like that. There's a hill circuit which sort of simulates B-road driving. There's a high-speed bowl, which I haven't done because I consider it irrelevant. You're limited to 100 miles an hour max, which if you've got something fast is nothing, and if you've got something slow is irrelevant. And then there's an off-road route, and I haven't done any off-roaders today, so I didn't really do that route. You can go outside on the road, but what's the point when you can go on a nice B-road right here? So really I've only done the B-roads today, and I think this is the 6th or 7th car that I'm doing. This will be the final car of the day, but it's been a great day, as you can imagine. If I had more energy, I would have hung around longer and do more, but I am fasting, so I think that'll be it for me. So this thing does appear to have modes. In fact, there's a button on the steering that says Sport, right on the steering. And I think I'll engage that once we get into the nice bit of road, and give that a try. I can't see any other modes down here. Like I said, these are quick drives, so it's hard to really get the full understanding of the car. But what I might do is, once I go into sports, is try out these blade-like, you know, Klingon blade-like paddle shifts that exist here, fixed behind the steering column. Fantastic instrument panel, which is basically entirely digital but looks analog. It looks like an analog instrument panel, but it's not. It is in fact entirely digital, so that's kind of cool. Right then, oh, nice little raspy, sporty noise coming out the back. Hit the sport button. Oh, the screen changes a little bit. and I think the steering livened up. That's interesting, if I'm not mistaken. Quite fidgety, but as you would expect, it's a small little sports car on some quite tarmac that isn't great. But having said that, this is supposed to be the comfortable one, the soft one. So it's supposed to be okay. And actually, so far, I mean, there's a little bit of vibration, a little bit of movement, but it's not uncomfortable in any way whatsoever. These seats are really tight, body hugging, but not too tight. They've got the perfect balance of not being too tight, which is often the case with these Balti seats, as opposed to just being supportive, but actually when they're too tight, they're actually uncomfortable. And this is not the case with these ones, so that's good. So far, so good. I mean, this is so tight, it's nimble, it's darty. It's exactly how you expect it to be, really. Oh, and it's a tight, nippy turn in, a little bit of pivoting around its center. It's a playful thing, and we're building up a bit of speed now. So I don't know if it's changing up or not. Oh, nice little bang pop from the thing. We're in third gear, fourth gear. Okay, so now let's go to the paddles, back into third gear. Oh, nice. I like the little overrun thing that it does there. Oh, it's nice. There's a bit of movement. There's a little bit of movement. You can feel the car just moving around a little bit. There you go. I like that. Change down. The downshifts are quite nice. A little bit of throttle action there, I think, that it does. And a little bit of understeer, but it's nice understeer. It's just kind of letting the car use the road as you would want to use it. So that's really, really cool. Oh, very, very good. Very nice. Very stable. I think, without doubt, the sportiest thing that I've driven today on this route, and I've driven a fair few things. And I think this is definitely the most fun. You're low slung, you're sitting low, you're feeling everything. The steering is actually not too heavy, not too light either. There is a bit of feedback through the wheel, actually. Yeah, I mean, you are feeling what the car is doing. There's also quite a bit of feeling back through your backside, really, which is what I suppose is giving you the confidence too many gears. Which is what's giving you the confidence. Oh, I think it's still an automatic mode, so it's kind of, I guess I'm second guessing it. I don't know how to go into full manual. I think I've buggered that up in terms of the gearbox. I don't know what's going on now. I like every time you lift off and it just goes pop. It's like it's like somebody with a look at that pop. Somebody with a machine gun in the back there, just going pop. Oh, full throttle out of a corner. Boy, that is exciting. This is nice. This is really, really good. Pop. I don't know if it does that deliberately. Pop. I mean, it's such a good thing that I'm definitely going around one more time. I mean, that's not going to give you a sufficient idea of what this actually can do. But how to go full manual? I assume that if you press the sport button, I can't see how to do that. I'm sure people will comment and tell me how to do it. But right now, in this short run, the short time that I've got with the car, unfortunately, I'm not able to figure this out. Yeah, I mean, it's still an automatic. So, I mean, one would have assumed that once you hit the paddle selector, it should change. But anyway, let's just see what we can do and just enjoy the handling. It's one of those things where this is why, you know, when you're reviewing a car properly, if you want to review it properly, you really need to spend a bit more time with it. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to end up in traffic on this one. So there's no overtaking allowed, so I think that's going to be a problem. It's nicer when you use the paddles, definitely. The gear change doesn't sound so great when it's doing its own thing, but when you're doing it, see, wow, pop. I'll tell you what, the sound alone is worth the entry fee. You know, just the craziness that it does with its exhaust. I mean, that alone, you'd go, yep, definitely want one. But also, it just holds on really well. It's tight. The thing, it reminds me of like a Lotus. Maybe the steering is maybe not quite as talkative, but it's a little bit more comfortable. Turning is sharp, you know. I'm not getting the gearbox. I don't understand if it's in manual or if it's automatic, because sometimes it's not changing up, then it changes up, you know, so I'm not entirely sure what it's doing. Very kindly somebody let me pass. It's questionable as to whether you should be able to or not, but anyway, done it now. It's nice when you change on the paddle, that's for sure. But the gear, the noise that it makes is just hilarious. Steering is good. I tell you what, it is good. And the car, the feeling of it is fantastic. It's direct, it's alive, it's exciting, you know. This is definitely, I think this is probably my favorite, just slightly above the BMW i4, I think, the drive of the day, for this day, and just in terms of just the driving dynamism of these cars. Utterly bonkers. I like this. I really do. This is great. This is a car that has a huge amount of fun and a huge grin inducer. No question about it. Oh my goodness. I better take it back now, although frankly speaking, I think I could do that all day. to borrow the words of Captain America, I could do this all day. Wow, what a great thing. Wow, that was worth the wait. It's been too long to get hold of this car, but that was well worth the wait, because wow, what a thing. What an absolute thing. So there you go. There's my review of the Alpine. If you find yourself in a position to get one, and you know what, I think the GT is probably the best compromise, because the ride is actually really good, and yet the car is flat and stable and pretty much, you know, solid in terms of what you want to do with it, and yet, you know, it's not jarring in any way whatsoever. And so I think this is the one, or maybe the base model, but save yourself, don't go for the most expensive one, because from what I've heard, that's the harsh one, that's the one with the really hard ride on it. So there you go, there's my review of the Alpine. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below.
A big shout out and thanks to Jay Williams over at Air Technic, who are top tier sponsors of Brown Car Guy. Check them out at Air Technic Co UK for exhausts, brakes, suspension and body kits. Plus our other major sponsor, Nayagen Solutions. Much appreciation also to Tier 4 sponsors, Muhammad Ali Humaid, Tom Conway Gordon and Reza Adil. And of course all these other guys who supporting on Patreon. Brown Car Guy is eternally grateful. Hey, think about joining them over at patreon.com Brown Car Guy. If you can't, don't worry. Just make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel and website. Plus follow on social media by searching for Brown Car Guy.